Welcome back, everyone. If you are new to my YouTube channel, we are a podcast with discussion on true crime interrogations and investigations that have led national attention and some that are somewhat on a smaller scale. And with that crime investigation, like a lot of people, there is a society that is fascinated with this area of law enforcement. And so came a wave of podcasters and channels on crime investigation. I am like the baby boomer of this wave. I developed a fascination back in late 90s through the early 2000s where it all began. So if any of you remember the crime show called Snapped, it is still on the air and running. At the time, it revolved around women who had basically snapped and killed their husbands. And now that show doesn't discriminate. That show has anyone who had snapped and would have killed whomever. So that brings me to the guy that comes out of Stratford, Missouri, Jessie Huy. This story is appended a little after COVID, March 19th, 2021. Well, Jesse, he appears to be an older guy sitting in interrogations about the whole incident that happened at his house. Apparently, this bad blood went way back when before or after he had married his third wife of 5 years, Tanya Huy, an active nurse for the state of Missouri. And about this time in March of 2021, she had undergone a major procedure on her back and returned home for recovery. Her husband, Jesse, wasn't working. He had disabilities of his own, and his health insurance had run out. And according to him, Tanya, for whatever reason, she didn't want to put him on her insurance. After her recovery, while at home, Tanya had planned on returning to work. So, like I said, Jesse didn't care for his in-laws at all. But Tanya's mom, Linda Kohler, and stepfather, Ron Kohler, thought that it would be a great idea to drive out to help their daughter out around the house, and whether that cleaning up, washing the dishes, or sweeping around the house, whatever that they could do. Because her parents were senior citizens with their own ailments. Well, imagine your husband in the house while your parents are there, not only making them feel uncomfortable, but making you, the wife, uncomfortable. Well, as you can imagine, her parents did stay long before Jesse made it clear that he wanted them out, and of course, he would let them hear it every chance that he got. Tanya's parents had been there a week before. Enough was enough. Tanya had made it clear that her name was on the mortgage as well. And if her parents wanted to stay, that they could stay as long as they wanted. Well, this is what happened. The week had come and gone. Jesse felt that his patience had ran thin. So he had been Tanya's ear, telling her to find a way to send them home. His mother-in-law couldn't really do a whole lot around their house anyway. Linda, at her age, had her ailments and limitations of what she could do. So Jesse thought the visit of Linda and Ron was useless. In the interrogation, the detective asked questions to get down to the reason or reasons why Jesse not liking his in-laws. But all Jesse would say is that he never liked them and didn't want to be a part of their life and didn't want them a part of his life. March 19th, 2021, the morning had come and gone. The house was tense, and by the afternoon, everyone except for Jesse was sitting at the table. Jesse stepped outside from the front door. Now, what happens next makes me wonder if he might have been fighting with what he thought he was going to do, because he stepped back into the front door and found Ron, Linda, and his wife, Tanya, sitting at the dining room table. Linda and Ron, from the moment they arrived a week ago, had to be feeling uncomfortable in the house with him, but they were there for Tanya to help her while she recovered. Even if it were just for moral support. Jessie said that he walked back into the house where the dining room was and said to both Linda and Ron that it was time for them to go home. Then, according to him, Tanya said, "They are not going anywhere. They can stay as long as they want. My name is on the house note, too." That's when, according to Jessie, he turned around, walked outside, and went to his truck and came back with a gun. He said that it happened so fast. He walked back into the house, raised his gun, and first one to go was Ron. He shot Ron in the head. Linda stood up from the dining chair in fear, then he shot her in the head. Then his wife stood up from her dining chair. That's when Jessie shot her as well. In the interrogation room, Jessie told the detective that he walked up closer and gave everyone another shot in the head, each to make sure that they were all dead. I've noticed that in interrogations, most suspects lie because they either don't know that the police have enough evidence on them, so they will deny everything, or other times they are in such denial about the crime, it traumatizes them even when they are caught with the smoking gun. Jessie is now doing 3 life sentences on first-degree murder without parole. Thanks everybody for watching. This is LAUMAX'S Allegedly. I am Lisa, your host. Good night.